Welcome to Conscious Ground Sound, your source for the best music, both past and present. I'm your host, J-Ando, and today we take a look at the new album Dusk from Ultimate Painting, released September 30th, 2016 on Trouble in Mind Records. Ultimate Painting is Jack Cooper and James Hoare, a London-based duo that met when Cooper's band Mazes were opening for Hoare's group Veronica Falls on a 2013 tour. The pair bonded over a shared film and musical aesthetic and started to record music together in James Hoare's apartment using vintage tape machines and instruments. The group have noted that the tape machine they use is the same model that was used to record Nirvana's Bleach. But don't be misled, this is not a good indication of their sound. Ultimate Painting have honed a sound that is heavily influenced by the Velvet Underground and sounds akin to modern 1960s inspired indie rock groups such as the Bees, Luna, Essex Green, and the Kingsbury Manx. Dusk is Ultimate Painting's third album and follow-up to their 2015 Green Lanes release and their 2014 self-titled debut release. The title Dusk is an appropriate title since the album has a very Twilight instrumental feel and a wispy sort of vocal quality that gives the album some mystique. Hoare and Cooper enlisted drummer Melissa Rigby from Astral Patterns to play on Dusk. The standout track on Dusk is the opening track Bills that features the band's signature indie rock groove that is unbelievably infectious in a similar way that Ultimate Painting, the opening track on their debut album, was. Bills talks about the eroding of self that comes with making ends meet and has the repeated refrain, "They're chewing me up." Hoare sings, "Can't you see I'm really poor? I had the cash, I spent it all. I'll do my best, I promise, man. Maybe there's a payment plan." This is a humorous but realistic theme we can all relate to, and it's set to a driving rhythm, vocal harmonies, and a harmonized reverb-tinged guitar. The unifying force of Dusk is its minimalistic indie rock feel. It's possible to listen to the entire album and enjoy it for the mood it creates without catching any specific meaning behind the songs or the lyrics. There are lyrics, but they are almost incidental to the musical accompaniment in a similar way that a pinback song would be. This ambient aesthetic is evident on tracks such as Who Is Your Next Target, where the meaning of the song is suggested in the title and the verses are hard to make out, but they give the vague association with the title theme. The track A Portrait of Jason seems like a nod to the duo's affinity for film. The lyrics attempt to set a cinematic scene in the most minimal way possible. The character Jason is mentioned in the title, and there are two secondary verses that tell of the character making a dramatic move from Maine to Mexico. And the other verse attempts to set a mental picture of the scene of the character's exodus through the light that is reflecting through the glass in the windshield of the car. But that's it. There's no other development. It's a bridging shot in an independent film that's extracted without any context. But in the same token, it's interesting in a way that leaves suggestive interpretations for the listener with its artistic, minimalist intent. The song Skippool Creek is in fact the same riff and progression as Some Kind of Love by the Velvet Underground, except slowed down. The influence here seems painfully obvious, but since there are so few bands who actually emulate a great band like the Velvet Underground, that's fine by me. The song I'm Set Free is also the title of a Velvet song, but it has the distinct identity of an Ultimate Painting song. Silhouetted Shimmering sounds very similar to a Kingsbury Manx type track with Farfisa organ droning throughout and whispered vocal lines. Overall, the duo likes to sing, but in a way that doesn't encompass any extreme dynamic peaks and valleys. The vocal delivery is very melodically flat and keeps in line with the band's minimalist integration with vintage instrumentation such as The World's Her Roads on Lead the Way and I Can't Run Anymore. I Can't Run Anymore also debuts an abrasive sounding guitar that cuts through the piece unlike any other track on the album, that has a thick sounding Wurlitzer keyboard marching towards infinity like a High Llama's instrumental. The thing that strikes me the most about the album is the honest sounding home-style recordings that are actually very high quality and well produced. Hoare and Cooper also managed to produce a beautiful string of songs in their regular songwriting sessions in Hoare's London flat. I give Dusk a 6 out of 10 stars for its smooth and relaxing indie rock aesthetic that just allows the listener to dissolve into the music. The shortcomings of the album are the duo's affinity for mind-numbingly basic progressions, themes, and vocal melodies. melodies. There's not much modulation or change once the song gets started, and sometimes when listening to the album it's easy to get distracted and then find out shortly that the album has come to an end. On the flip side, the harmonies put forth on Dusk are impeccably in tune, to the band's credit, and the quality of their music stands in direct contrast to the overwhelming preponderance of cliché indie rock bands that pose an ironic indifference while relying on the co-opted style of horrid 80s synth pop to bolster their vapid musings. Ultimate Painting, on the other hand, uses vintage instrumentation and references a style that is vastly more textural and sonically interesting, with an approach that is simple but honestly frames the conversation without any pretentious airs of deep emotional turmoil. Ultimate Painting's Dusk is a good addition to your musical collection and a significant release in 2016. This has been another new album review from Conscious Ground Sound. Check this album out by going to the description box in this video review and following the link for the full album. You can also check out other video links there to hear more about Ultimate Painting. If you like this review, subscribe for more updates on new releases and classic albums to come. If you didn't like the video, subscribe anyway. Check out social media for music articles, playlists, and music-related points of interest.